Hello, everyone. This is Ray Bagnuolo, and as I like to say, all you queer people, welcome, and those who wish you were, welcome. Uh, it is January 7th, Friday, and so it's pretty hard to be anywhere around this time and be breathing oxygen and not thinking, at least in this country, about the events of last year. And it's on my mind, right? Um, and these little videos I do are primarily about they're about reaffirming if you have ever felt excluded or not welcome in a community of faith, and please don't believe the things they're telling you about why you're not welcome and how you're not loved and all those other terrible things they say. So that's basically what these little videos are about. But after the this anniversary yesterday, it made me think, especially as I watched the prayer vigil in front of the Capitol. If you happen to see it, you would have noticed that there was half of the Congress there. That to me is like, really? How could there only be half on a day that is to commemorate the people, the brave people who fought to protect the Capitol that day, the lives that were lost, and the importance we have in paying attention to what's going on? How could half of them not be there? No matter what their political views are. I mean, was there a special at Chuck E. Cheese? Where were they? Where were they? But they were absent, and their absent voice spoke loudly. I mean, that's really, their voice was there, and it was absent. So an absent voice is silence, and back in the early days of ACT UP, the Triangle used to have a slogan that went with it that said, "Silence equals death." And in some ways, that's what's happening. It's this silence and this denial that is causing so much harm. And that's, there's a parallel there in the institution. There's a parallel to what takes place in communities of faith, where silence about the queer community and how it's been disenfranchised, and how so many of the teachings that we've been subjected to over so many years have actually harmed people, forced them away from the church, closed the doors on them, told them they weren't welcome, told them they weren't well, told us that, well, God had made a mistake. It's hard to believe, but in your case, God, come on. This is just nonsense. So I guess maybe it's easy to say, where were they? But at the same time, I want to remember who was there. And I want to remember all of the people in the communities of faith that exist today, the allies, the people have stretched, gone through great struggles to make a welcoming for all people. And I'm most familiar with that in terms of the queer community. And I want to remember that they are here and we are here. And so if you're out there and you feel like you're alone, and you feel like there's nowhere to go on a cold, snowy day like this, as beautiful as it is, if you feel like that, I get it. But there are places where you are welcome. And no matter what, please don't ever let anybody tell you that you're anything other than loved by whoever it is you believe in as a God, a higher power, or the gifts you have, or the visions you have to be who you are. We're struggling with that right now in a lot of ways. We're struggling with this idea of with the idea of democracy, and with the idea of what it is to be welcoming. And it's going to take a lot. It already has, and it will continue to do so. But you know what? We're pretty strong folk, and there's a lot of people out there that you can rely upon and depend upon. So on this day that we remember, a day that maybe if we can get to what really happened and get out of the way of ourselves with some folks that are just more interested in keeping things the way they are and maintaining their power, their authority, their belief, their teachings, their conduct, if we can get away from that in the government and maybe even in the church and in the faith communities, I think we have a good chance of changing things. So thanks for listening today, and I hope wherever you are, you know how much you are loved. And we'll see you again soon.